come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come out of?
Hello everyone, my name is Eagle Ace and you are watching the Eagle Ace Show. I know this is a bit of a change from my usual content, but I've decided that I wanted to try something new, and I think this might suit me better. I want to have a voice, and I want to be able to express my opinions on stuff. I guess let me start a little about me. I am a devout Christian young man. I am Gen Z. I believe in America first. I do not believe in foreign wars in opposing hemispheres in the Eastern Hemisphere. And when I say that, I mean I do not believe in American involvement in these foreign wars. I believe in traditional values. I believe in American traditional values, and I believe in European civilization. I believe that European civilization and culture is what America should be based around. It's what America was founded upon, and it's what we need to get back to. I'm a traditional America First conservative. I believe in family values. I do not believe in the LGBTQ movement. I do not believe in abortion in most circumstances. And I believe that our country should reflect Christ. That our country should be based upon the values of Christ like it was founded upon. And I believe we need to get back to that. I believe that we have lost the vision that our founding fathers had, and I believe that we need people to speak out, to tell the truth. If people are not willing to speak out, if people are not willing to question, then there is no opposition to what many of us know is morally, ethically, and if you're religious, religiously wrong. So, that's a little about me. Today, I guess I would have preferred a better time to start the show, but I guess there really is no perfect time to start the show. My main goal with any of this is just to talk to people. That's all I want to do, is talk to people, debate with people, and understand other people. Understand other people's views. Because when we stop talking, that's when we lose civilization. That's when we lose society. And we have to keep talking. And there are going to be times when we are not going to agree with other people. When we are going to feel dislike, hate, and maybe even hatred towards some people, even though hatred is not good. Not good for anyone. You should not hate anyone. Okay? Hate is the side of evil. We can disagree. We can even dislike, but we should never hate someone. But I don't believe we should ever hate anyone except evil itself. We should hate evil and we should hate sin. But it is God's place to judge these people. And I can assure you that these people will be judged, that His will be done, and many of us will be persecuted for the glory of Him. But when you take that cross and you bear that cross, you're glorifying Him. You're glorifying His sacrifice. So, with all that being said, I would like to talk about the recent event in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm sure if you have been on the internet just a little, you have seen this recent event with ICE and a woman by the name of Renee Nicole. And my goal of this episode is, the start of this show, is to first, you get to know me. I want you to understand my views, my points, and what I value. And for this to be a baseline of where I can go into more depth of what I believe in, what I hold dear, what I value in the future. But I want to talk about this story today, really this week, with the ICE shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I kind of want to just, I'm going to show some clips of the video. I'm going to read some posts from both the left and the right, and I am going to give my thoughts on it. And I want you to form your own thoughts. So I'm going to pull up some posts from Twitter and other Republican and liberal commentators. All right, so I believe it to be appropriate to start with the President of the United States. So Donald J. Trump reads, I've just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer, who seems to have shot her in self-defense. Based on the attached clip, it is hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. The situation is being studied in its entirety, but the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis. They are just trying to do the job of making America safe. We need to stand by and protect our law enforcement officers from this radical left movement of violence and hate. President Donald J. Trump. I could not agree more. Ever since the start of ICE deportations, the left has viciously attacked, protested ICE, drug, and as we'll get into later, has drug ICE agents across the ground with their car, hooked them to the back of the car, and drugged them 300 yards. These people come out here with malicious intent. They do not want ICE to be nice to them. They want ICE to get a reaction. They want ICE to react to what they're doing. They intentionally spur on harassment, hate, and violence towards our federal officers. They come out here with malicious intent because they want something to write a story on. They want something to spin a narrative on. This is what the left does. They intentionally cause disarray in our society, in our country, and want to spin it around to promote their own agenda. And again, this agenda, in particular with this one, is an agenda of our government is corrupt. The federal government has too much power. We need to take it away from them. And our illegal immigrants, these illegal immigrants need to stay in this country because it's America. Everyone's welcome here. No, not everyone is welcome here. If you are a terrorist, you are not welcome here. If you come here with the intent of making America like your country, you are not welcome here. You should not be here. When you come to America, you are a guest. And you are to assimilate and understand American culture. Understand what it means to be America. But the reason why people have such a hard problem with this is because we have lost the idea of what it means to be American. You see, in the 1940s and 1950s, before the Civil Rights Movement, and let me just clarify, I think most things of the Civil Rights Movement was a positive change. I do not believe segregation should be instituted in our schools and public institutions, or any place for that matter. And I do believe in equal rights for all people, but it caused a lot of unnecessary changes, and it started this spiral into how far can we go with liberalism till it becomes dangerous. And that is what we are seeing now. These people want open borders. They don't realize that if all these people coming in and these real estate companies buying up homes, you know, the middle class citizens especially will suffer, okay? People like me and you will suffer because we will not be able to afford the rent on these houses that these real estate companies buy. We will not be able to provide for a family, raise a family. We'll be drowned in student loan debt if we decide to go to college. And most of us will end up working a job that we don't like, in a place that we don't want to be in, and with people that we don't want to be around. While instead, these immigrants come here and they get free stuff from state governments. They're being held up in these child development centers for the Somalians when you see no children around there. But I feel like I'm extrapolating, so I'm gonna come back. I'll bring it back. Look, let me just point it out. Let me just say it clearly, because I know some people are going to say that I support the killing of people. I do not support the killing of people. I don't support murder. No one should support murder. I mean, I certainly hope that you don't, but this was not murder. Murder is the unlawful killing of someone. Let's look at the definition of murder. The unlawful premeditated killing of one human being by another. Let me just point this out. ICE did not come to that woman with the intent to kill her. They did not. ICE came there to resolve a situation of a woman blocking a public roadway, which is a crime, with her vehicle. Resolve two women spurring stuff on with an ICE agent that was already on scene, and they told her to get out of the car. And instead of getting out of the car, what did she do? She backed up. Her wife told her to drive, baby, drive. And then she ran into an ICE officer, and the ICE officer shot her out of fear for his life and self-defense. Do I like that she died? No, I don't. I wish she hadn't had died. But it is a fact that we have to live with. And it is a fact that she could have completely prevented this whole situation had she just complied with ICE and gotten out of the vehicle. This is what I mean when I say these people come here with malicious intent. They want to intentionally aggravate our federal agents that are just trying to uphold the laws in our country. That is what these people come here to do. They get in groups, they protest, they hinder our federal agents, and then they play the victim card when something bad happens to them. You are not the victim. Intentionally seeking out to be a victim completely discredits your credibility as a victim in yourself. Okay, if I go out and I spur hateful language towards black people, and a bunch of black people jump me because I'm saying hateful things about them, and then I try and play the victim card, I'm an idiot. That is what these people are doing. They are going out here harassing our federal agents, and our federal agents are completely and utterly patient with these people. They have been patient with them for a year, and it was only a matter of time where something like this was going to happen, and this is what the left wanted. This is what they wanted, because they can use the same narrative that they used with George Floyd. George Floyd is another case of the left quickly grappling onto something and spinning something, trying to censor and silence people who question the legitimacy. And now we all know that George Floyd was a criminal pointing a gun at a pregnant woman's belly and had overdosed on fentanyl, was overdosing on fentanyl. That is why he was acting so rationally. This is no different. This is no different. This is what the left is trying to spin a narrative about this. And I am here, and a lot of us are here to just try and get the footage out there. Speak the truth and be based in reality. Be based in truth. I'm going to show you the video now of the 13-second video that Trump showed with his post. All right, now that video was really far away, so I'm going to show another clip from another angle so we can get a better understanding of this, because that video I do not believe does credit to the real situation.
Change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car.
Whoa!
Oh my God. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Now, does that look like an unlawful shooting to you? I'd like to know. I would like to know. But from my point of view, that is not unlawful. That is not murder. That is an unfortunate death that could have been prevented had she complied. You can see the look on her face. She's smiling. She wants them to react. Her wife tells her to drive, baby, drive. And then what do you know? She listens to her wife and then gets shot. Like, are we serious with this right now? Are we serious? I want to read some defense in I want to read some posts in defense of the women, of the two girls there. Renee Nicole, a 37-year-old wife and mother from Minneapolis, Minnesota, was killed today by Donald Trump's ICE agents. After shooting her while she attempted to drive away, they denied her medical treatment. Her president offers no sympathy for her avoidable death, nor condolences to her family and friends. Instead, he almost gloats at it, preferring to politicize her passing. The behavior of ICE is the same as Hitler's brown shirts. Renee Nicole's death is due to fascism. Fascism? Seriously? That's why she died? Because Trump's got his SS agents out there killing people, taking them out of their cards? Do you see how ridiculous you sound? Offers no sympathy for her avoidable death. It was, yes, you are completely right. It was avoidable. It was completely avoidable by her. She went out there. She decided to wake up one day and say, you know what? I'm going to go cause trouble with the federal government just trying to do their job. Because I believe, as a white liberal, I got to protect the migrants that come in their country, come into America fleeing from their country. It's not your place. It's not your place, and it's not your right to do that. You know, for some of you older people out there, let's see, because I'm actually surprised. A lot of Gen Z actually still listens to mainstream media. So let's see what CNN is saying about this. All right, so here we have a story by CNN. Mother of 3 who loved to sing and write poetry, shot and killed by ICE in Minneapolis. Sounds pretty bad. Let's keep reading. The woman shot and killed by an Immigration and Customs enforcement agent in Minneapolis was a loving mother, a poet, and a partner whose family, along with neighbors across her stunned city and strangers far beyond, is shocked by the circumstances surrounding her death. Renee Nicole, a 37-year-old U.S. citizen, was killed when an ICE agent shot into her vehicle during an encounter Wednesday morning. Good's ex-husband said she had just dropped off her 6-year-old son in school when she encountered the ICE agents. So your thought, let's assume this is true. So your thought after dropping off your son at elementary school is to go and mess with federal agents in your state. I guess do what you want. It's not what I would think would be the best way to teach your kids as they look up to you. But you know what? Let's. The victim tried to weaponize her vehicle in quotation marks. Okay, to run over an officer near an ICE vehicle stuck on a snow-lined street before he opened fire. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said. State and local officials have strongly disputed claims the shootings captured on video. Yeah, state and local officials. State officials like Tim Walz. Okay, state officials that are purposely keeping all these Somalians in Minnesota, stopping ICE and telling their police to try and stop ICE. And this is the people that are credible, that hate our country, that hate what America is, that hates the thought of preserving our country. Mother of 3 had 2 children, ages 15 and 12, from her first marriage. The Associated Press reported. Her 6-year-old child's fathers died in 2023, according. There's nobody else in his life, the child's grandfather told the newspaper. After spending most of her life in Colorado, Good briefly moved to Kansas to live with her parents for a time after her husband, a military veteran, died. Her father, Tim Ganger, told the Washington Post. She had a good life, but a hard life, he said. She was a wonderful person. You know who else was a wonderful person? Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was a wonderful person. And instead, and you know, there were some liberals that were actually remorseful for Charlie Kirk, for his death. People like Dean Withers, which I fundamentally do not agree with. It showed that he was actually human and he actually cared about when people get hurt. And even though he strongly disagreed with Charlie Kirk on just about everything, he showed compassion. But most liberals, when Charlie Kirk died, flew to TikTok. People at Charlie Kirk's rally, some of them were celebrating. We all know this. We all seen this. People on TikTok were jumping up for joy, dancing, and I haven't seen a single person on the right since this woman died doing any of that. No one is celebrating her death, and no one should be celebrating her death because it is still the loss of human life. And all loss of human life still sucks. It still sucks. In a perfect world, in a sinless world, in a world with Christ, well, we do live in a world with Christ, but in a world with Christ, when he returns, people won't die anymore. But that's unfortunately not the world we live in right now. But my point is, we have to have compassion, okay? People, if you want to be respected and care about when people on your side get killed, you have to show compassion for the other side. And I haven't seen a single person on the right celebrating this woman's death. You know, I've seen some people say it was justified, and I would say I believe it was justifiable too. It was self-defense. That's what it was. That is what it was. There is no other way of turning it. It was self-defense. And I want to delve deeper. I saw a post earlier by the New York Post talking about Renee's wife, Renee Good's wife, and how she encouraged her. Renee Nicole Good's sobbing wife who claimed Minneapolis ice shooting was my fault revealed. The widow of Renee Nicole Good, who was filmed sobbing. I mean, she shouldn't be a widow because gay marriage shouldn't be a thing. The widow who was filmed sobbing, "It's my fault," after her partner was killed by an ICE agent. Were they married? I might actually need to check on that. I apologize if I said something and it was not true. But the point still stands. But it says she was filmed sobbing, saying, "It's my fault," after her partner was killed. They decided to leave the country after President Trump was reelected in 2024. They fled to Canada. They moved to Canada. You should have stayed in Canada. You should have stayed in Canada because we don't want you here. You should have stayed in Canada. You do not have America's interests. A neighbor who you know is not a terrorist, not an extremist. That was just a mom who loved her kids, loved her spouse. Another neighbor. Juan Rose told the outlet. The Department of Homeland Security accused 37-year-old Renee of being a domestic terrorist who weaponized her car to try and kill these officers. So here are some things from DHS. The same ICE Gov officer attacked yesterday was dragged in June by a child sexual predator trying to evade an immigration enforcement arrest. He suffered severe injuries and required 33 stitches. ICE officers put their lives on the line every day to defend American communities.
The country unlawfully, and he also pled guilty to fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct for a morning. He refused to comply and broke the window. These images show the officer's hand in the vehicle. In this video, you can see the driver take off with the agent hanging from the car, dragging him 300 feet through front yards. These graphic images show the aftermath. A blood.
This is what this guy had to go through. This is a true American right here, upholding and enforcing the law. He was put in the hospital just for doing what he could, what his job was. This man was just trying to take out a criminal, a sexual predator, and looks like multiple time felon, committed felonies, and he's dragged across 50 yards. I would be a little on edge too after dealing with that. I think anyone would. I think that's completely reasonable to say that after getting dragged across the road with a vehicle going a relatively decent speed for 50 yards, and you having to spend months or having to spend a decent period of time in the hospital just because you're trying to do your job. Yeah, I would be a little on edge too when someone tries and runs me over with a car. Is a natural response. And this is my point. This is what these ICE officers have to deal with. They have to get ridiculed and harassed online for just doing what they're meant to do, for just upholding our country's laws. That's what is at stake here. That is what is going on. We have to realize that these are just everyday citizens, just like Renee Good, okay? But instead, they are better than Renee Nicole Good because they actually have the interests of America. And yes, I know, and we all know, with anyone head screwed on straight, that there is corruption in the government and that there is foreign affairs in the government, lobbyists, but this has nothing to do with that. This has nothing to do with that. This is an example of a upholder of the law doing his job, and in that moment he saw fit. He was fearing for his life. He probably did not want to get dragged across the ground again. I think that's a fair assessment. I think that is a fair assessment of the situation. The only thing most of the left knows, the radical left knows, is violence. That's all they know. Okay? And that's why they try and spur on this stuff, because they want you to react violently. What Trump needs to do is to go in, not with just a couple hundred National Guard, with thousands of National Guard, and protect our ICE agents and get these damn people out of our country. Get the 10 million illegal immigrants that came in during the Biden administration and get them out of here, okay? And deport them. And then say, if you want back in this country, you do it the right way. You do it the right way and the lawfully way. That's what Trump needs to do. I have been not very pleased with the Trump administration, but what I have been pleased with is his policy on immigration and him trying to get these illegals out. But it's not enough. We need more. 200,000 a year is not enough. It's not enough. We need more. Okay, we need the National Guard and the ICE out here and saying, look, there is no argument anymore. Okay, we're getting these people out of this country, and if you try and stop us, we will arrest you. We're not going to shoot you unless you actually try and harm us. Because I believe, shooting should be the last option. If there's nothing else you can do, then, oh well, I guess that's what you have to do. We have to be based in reality. And we have to say, look, who do we value more? The people who were born here? The people who built this country? Or the people that want to take advantage of this country? Do we want to prioritize American citizens, American patriots, people who believe in this country? Or do we want to support the people that don't believe in this country, that hate this country, that want to make this country like theirs? They come here from third world countries and say, I want it to be more like Iran. I want it to be more like Vietnam. I want it to be more like India. Shut the heck up. Shut up and get out of our country. This is not your country. This is the West, okay? This is North America, and this is America. You either accept that, and when you come here, and I'm not saying you can't still have your cultures and traditions, okay, but when you come here, you need to speak English. When you come here, you need to believe in America. Leave your old country behind. Stop sending money back to your old country and your families over there. Leave your old country behind and put America first. The American citizens first. Work hard to become and be considered an American, and you will be. We will embrace you because, if anything, America is considerate. We're a little too considerate. We're a little too encouraging. We're a little too accepting. And that's why that these people have gotten this notion in their head that they can just come here and that America won't do anything. That is not true, and it shouldn't be true. Every single one of them has got to go. Every single one of them. I don't care if you haven't. For one, you've already committed a crime when you come into this country illegally. But I want people like that guy that is a child predator and has harmed ICE officers. I want them out first. I want people like that out. And I want these liberals to stop defending them because these people don't care about you. They don't care about you. Renee Nicole Good, if that man was around your son, who knows what would have happened? I mean, I don't want to be vulgar and I don't want to be, weird about it. But look, it's a fact. It is a fact. And I'm sorry that that's the way it is, but that is the people that you are protecting. People that are a danger to your family. Protecting these Muslims, they don't believe in your family. They don't believe in you having a partner with a wife, with your girlfriend or whatever. They don't believe in that. But that's the people you're protecting. What a joke. What an absolute load of joke. What an absolute joke. The question is, what needs to happen? I'll tell you what needs to happen. As I stated previously, Trump needs to send the military down there to these big cities where there are these massive enclaves of illegal immigrants and say, get out of our way. We're taking you with us. Come on. Protect ICE. Protect the American people. Protect the middle-class citizens that are being taken advantage of by these illegal immigrants. And get these protesters, these protesters that go up to ICE officers' faces, scream in their faces, wanting them to react. They want them to react. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing American people, the American people, getting hurt and taken advantage of. Okay, this ICE officer is just as valuable as Renee Nicole Good. He is just as an American citizen as she is. I would say he's more of an American citizen than she is. Because for one, she fled the country. She left the country when Trump got elected. Based on what this is saying, based on their own testimonies, I just don't understand it. As a parent, you're supposed to be there for your children. The way it works, the way it should work in families, is you have Christ, your wife, and then your children, and then everything else. Okay? That's how it should be. Your spouse, your children, and Christ up here. God up here. That's how it should be. But instead, they are putting their politics up here. They don't believe in God. I can assure you, these people did not believe in Jesus Christ. But they put their politics up here. They put their spouse here. And then they also put their children all the way down here. You notice how you can't see it? Because it's all the way down there. They would rather go out and harass federal agents than being there another day for their children. It's outrageous. It is completely outrageous. And I feel so bad for those children. My condolences go out to the family. I know losing someone sucks. It does. It sucks. And I hope that those children will be safe. I hope that no one else gets hurt from this. I wish the violence would just stop. I wish, but it is not ICE causing the violence. It is not the federal government looking for a reason to go shoot someone. It is these people looking for a reason to get shot. So, anyways, I would love to hear y'all's thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I would love to know what you think. If you want me to continue this, and I just want to get to know you guys more, because above all else, I value free speech. I think everyone should have a platform. Everyone. Because when we try and silence people and cancel people, it has a reverse effect. It actually just makes more people go to that person, because then they ask, like me, like I've asked, okay, why was this person silenced and canceled? Anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful night, day, morning, wherever you are. This has been the Eagle Show. I'm Eagle Ace, and until next time, God bless you and peace.
It's going to be only America first. America first.